Thank you. Next question. Do we evolve from life to life, or is each birth a separate incident? Oh. Surely, either we go up or go down from life to life. There is no such thing as a separate incident. Either you go up, more and more become conscious, or go down, more and more become unconscious. But in every life, something solid happens in you. Either becoming more conscious or becoming more unconscious. But something solid happens in you. Please understand, whatever you may be doing the whole day, either some joy or hurt will be in your background of the mind unconsciously. Continuously it will be going on. It will be happening. But that is not what you are doing. Please understand, you may be doing something, but the underground, background of your mind, something will be going on. Same way, in your life also, whatever you may be doing, in the background of your mind, something will be going on. If it is unconscious, you are going lower and lower. If it is conscious awareness, you are going higher and higher. Either you go higher or lower in your life, but life after life, lives are not separate incidents. It is deeply interconnected. It is a connection. It's like how in one life you wake up, fall asleep, wake up, fall asleep, same way. In the eternal life, you take birth, die, take birth, die, take birth, die. That's all. That is the way it happens. Thank you. Next question. If I work towards my purpose in this life, but die before it is fulfilled, can I continue the same purpose in my next life? Please understand, when you are working towards the purpose in this life, even if you die, there is no such thing as break. Only if there is a break, you can use the word continuing. Please understand. Till you find the purpose, till you fall in tune with your bio-memory, there is a break and continuity. Break and continuity. Once you fall in tune with your bio-memory completely, suddenly you will see, even if you leave the body, it is not death. Please understand. It is not death. Even if you leave the body, you will be very clear about the purpose. You will assume the body and everything will happen. So, because there is no break, the word continuity need not be used at all. It will be just like a sleeping and waking up. It will be just sleeping and waking up. As long as you find the purpose, there is a break and continuity. Break and continuity. Once you are in tune with the meaning, once you are in tune with the bio-memory of your life, then suddenly you will see dying is not dying, leaving the body. That is why we say beautifully, in the life of Shiva Bhaktas, death is liberation and celebration. In Varanasi, death is liberation and celebration. All the load associated, responsibilities associated with the body and through the body, you are liberated from it. You are liberated from it. Understand? It's a very powerful process. Whenever you feel excited about life, enjoy your joy and need feeling to live. Whenever life kicks you, whenever you feel disturbed by life, you are totally shaken, enjoy the feeling. See, when you are shaken by life, for example, some unnatural death in your family, or somebody near and dear one has died, or the wealth is lost, or your name and fame is lost, identity is lost, something when it happens, suddenly you will feel, oh, death is much better than this. death could have been much more easier to be handled than this. At those moments, live death. See that something new is dying. Something new is dying. It's really painful. So at that moment, be aware. If you are aware at those moments, go through that death, whatever is dying in you. When the real death happens in you, it will not be painful. Because when the real death happens, you will see very clearly, what is there to be afraid? There were so many times I felt the real death will be much better. What I thought will be much better is happening now. Let me look into it, go into it. So, whenever you are excited to live that excitement. Whenever you feel it's better to die, again live that feeling, live that low mood, live that depression, live that suffering. When you live the excitement and suffering consciously, you will be prepared for life and death. Please understand. When you feel your purpose is being fulfilled, you are achieving success, so much of excitement about life is there. That excitement about life, if you handle it unconsciously, it is called rajas. If you handle that with awareness, it is called sattva. Same way, when you are suffering, the name and fame is lost, wealth is lost, somebody is dying, or your own disease, you feel death is much better. At that moment, that fear, that shrinking feeling, if you handle that feeling unconsciously, it is called tamas, depression, low mood. If you handle that same feeling consciously, it will become sattva, means relaxing, retiring, solid peace in you. All the death which happens in you can lead you to peace. All the excitement which happens in you can lead you to bliss. Please understand. All the excitement which happens in you can lead you to bliss if you handle it with awareness. If you are unconsciously handling, it will only lead to joy, which is not permanent. All the low mood, retractive mood can lead you to peace if you handle it with awareness. It will lead you to depression if you handle with unawareness. Life, when it happens in you, with awareness, it is bliss. Without awareness, it is only joy. Death, when it happens in you, with awareness, it is peace. Without awareness, it is depression, pain. So look in, when you are completely based at your biomemory, centered at your biomemory, means the purpose of life, meaning of life. Even if you leave the body, it is not death. It is just continuity. If you are not at ease with the purpose or meaning of the life, even if you think you are continuing, it will not be continuity, and there will be enough of breaks. A small incident will be a big break. I have seen people feeling that their whole life is lost if they just change their house. In India, generations people live in the same houses. Forget about same village, same street, same houses. I have seen, for generations people live in the same house. Even if they change the house, they feel their whole personality is shaken, life is shaken. It's almost like a death. It's almost like a death. Even a small change, you cannot take it if you don't know the purpose of life. If you are settled completely settled on your biomemory, even your body changing will not be a big change. If you are not settled with the purpose, even a small house changing will be a big change. Very beautifully Krishna says, changing the body is nothing but changing the cloth. If you are settled in your biomemory, purpose of life, changing the body will be just like changing the clothes. If you are not settled with the purpose of life, meaning of life, even changing cloth will look like a changing body. I have seen many people just changing simple dress. They will feel that whole life is changed. Whole life is different. Please understand, it is how much you are centered on the purpose of your life, biomemory of your life. Next question. If two people are born at the same time, in the same circumstances, like twins, do they share a common purpose? No. Please understand, no. Two bodies enter the cosmos at the same time. That does not mean two of them carry same soul. No. It is different souls will be reflecting on two different bodies. So naturally, the purpose will be different. That is why twins, they live totally different life, different kind of taste, different lifestyle, everything is different. So, it is not true that they share a common purpose. Next question. I feel there is a larger purpose to my life than what I am living now, but I am unable to define what it is. This is the beautiful space you are in. Means the seed is about to open, but there is little insecurity. Will I become tree or will I die? This zone is what I call superactive brain. Please understand. Sometime you will feel your brain is superactive. In so many zones it is working, but you do not know what is exactly the purpose. What is exactly the meaning? The superactive people are moving towards enlightenment. First level, your body and mind feels okay, everything is going well. The second level, suddenly your mind feels too alive and active, and your body does not feel that it will be able to cope up with that mind. And after some time, not only your mind explodes, your body also explodes. Both of them feel that they are in tune and they can cope up with each other. They are expressing their best. That is enlightenment zone. So understand, you are in the second level. You are in the second level. You know there is a larger purpose to your life, but you are unable to define what it is. So at these moments, all you need to do, allow your superactive mind to act, just help your body to cope up with your mind. Do more meditations related to body and biomemory like yoga, physical techniques. Don't work on mind, don't do techniques related to mind. Do some meditation techniques which is related to grasp body, being physical. You will see you are able to cope up with the mind. Your body physical biomemory will be able to internalize the purpose, higher purpose of your life, which is already smelled by your mind, by your superactive mind, which already your superactive mind has started feeling or getting feelers. Next question. Can you please clarify the term biomemory? Does it relate to the body or mind? Understand, word biomemory relates to body and mind both. Bio relates to body, memory relates to mind. The mind which is rooted in your muscles, in your body. I can say there is a part of biomemory which is physical, there is a part of biomemory which is mental. The mental biomemory becomes physical with more and more action. The physical biomemory becomes mental the same way by more and more thinking. If the mental biomemory is repeated again and again through the physical activity, the body cooperates it, it becomes physical biomemory. If the physical biomemory things are again and again contemplated, meditated upon, thought through, explored, that becomes mental biomemory. Mental biomemory and physical biomemory falling in tune is Jivan Mukti. Please understand. There is a very powerful technique by Buddha. It's called Vipassana. This is the technique directly to connect your mental biomemory and physical biomemory. Just working on breathing, working on breath. Your breathing connects your mind and body. See, the subtle breathing is mind, physical mind is breathing. So inner thinking, whatever goes on inside, when it expresses itself outside, it's breathing. Whatever breathing is happening outside, what it does inside is thinking. I can say inner breathing is thinking, outer thinking is breathing. So these two are very closely connected. Buddha gives a very powerful technique to make your mental biomemory, physical biomemory in tune with each other, just to create synchronicity, to make both fall in tune with each other. The Vipassana technique. It's a very powerful process. If you can work with Vipassana, I'll explain. It's a very simple technique. All you need to do is be aware of your physical movement, breathing movement and mental movement. That's all. Very simple technique. Sit as long as you can, being aware of physical movements, like a belly going up and down, and breathing going in, turning, going out, turning. Same way, mental movement. Whatever is happening inside, just be. Just see. Be aware of these three: physical, breathing and mental. This powerful method, Vipassana, makes your mental biomemory, physical biomemory in tune with each other. So, biomemory is physical and mental. It's a strong connection between these two. Thank you.